We have a few very special guests today in our studio, and we are going to talk about a very special non-profit organization which is doing a great job in India and now expanding overseas, called Samarthanam. First, we are going to speak with its founder, Mr. Mahantesh. Mahantesh, welcome to our studio.
Thank you.
And thank you very much for coming and your time. My first question to you is, to our viewers and readers who are not familiar with Samarthanam, what is the 2 or 3 main things your organization does?
Thank you, Upendra sir. I'm very happy to be in your studio and talking to viewers. Samarthanam Trust for the Disabled, a leading non-profit organization in India, is in existence for the last 20 years, founded in 1997 by myself and my friend S.P. Nagesh. The prime initiatives of Samarthanam have been supporting education for the blind, disabled and underserved community. It is an inclusive education. Secondly, we have multiple livelihood resource centers. We skill persons with disability to become employable because we believe they are a potential workforce and they can work if they are provided with required skill sets. The other main program of Samarthanam is cricket for the blind and sports. We believe strongly that visually impaired are capable of playing. So we have created a cricket association for the blind in India, which has 24 states in India affiliated to, and it is an active member of World Blind Cricket Limited. Recognizing our contribution, I am made the president of World Blind Cricket now, and we are obligated to promote the game of cricket across the world.
Mahantesh, I just wanted to, since we were talking about cricket, off the studio, off the camera, we are talking about, we were watching a video, and one of the blind players said that, which really touched me, he said that we play first and then we see. Now, how you are also literally blind, right? You cannot see. Okay. So how did you get this inspiring idea of cricket for the blind people?
Yeah, for Indians, I think you will agree, cricket is a religion. It's a religion which holds us all together. So why blind people should be exempted from this? Keeping this in mind, because I followed a lot of cricket from childhood, cricket commentary, and loved a lot of great cricketers, and whatever English I'm speaking, it's all picked from English cricket commentary of 1970s, 80s and 90s. So I came to Bangalore for my education from Belgaum when I was 10, and the first condition I told my dad is, if you want me to study, I need cricket bat, cricket balls and wickets. So those days there was no modified ball. So whatever ball was available, we got and started playing in the school. Fortunately, we had a lot of encouragement in the school where I studied from the management, especially the secretary of the school, Mr. Rajendra, has been my teacher. He himself used to come down and play. So we all liked cricket so much. We also used to play cricket with tins, these oil tins and all. We used to put some small stones. It used to make noise. The kind of enjoyment we all had, it kept kind of me thinking about how do we kind of take this to the next level. So after I finished my school and my college, along with my friend, we decided to create an organization to primarily support cricket for the blind. Cricket was managed in India by a Delhi-based organization till 2010. We joined them. They decided to kind of do away with it and asked us to take it forward. We accepted the challenge. In 2010, we created CABI, Cricket Association for the Blind in India.
So Mahantesh, can we talk a little bit more here about how many this blind cricket teams are there in India right now?
So in India, sir, on an average, we have at least 300 to 400 cricket teams because 24 states are affiliated. On an average, 10 to 15 teams per state. If you say about 300 to 400 cricket teams easily we have, and some estimation says around 20 to 25,000 blind people either play cricket or follow cricket easily.
Great.
Yeah.
Now, also just talking about cricket, right now you are making a tour of the United States. And again, your goal is to promote cricket here in the US for the blind as well.
Yeah, so this time my prime objective is to kind of spread the game of cricket for the blind. This game can transform the life. In India, many of you must have followed, including Prime Minister congratulated the team, invited and felicitated, President congratulated, Ministry of Sports congratulated, BCCI has started giving some grants to the players and all. So many of my boys who played for the country got jobs, they got cash prize, so that, and they represented India in different countries, raised Indian flag. That is the kind of effect cricketers could bring back to their countries, and they could travel. They played in the mainstream main cricket stadiums like Lords, Ovals, and the finals of the second T20 World Cup was a massive one, sir. We had it in Chinnaswamy Stadium, most prestigious cricket stadium in the world, Bangalore. So more than 30,000 plus people were there witnessing the finals live. Many media covered it live. We had this second T20 in a very grand manner. We did it in 12 cities, 48 matches, 10 countries came and participated, and India emerged victorious by beating Pakistan for the fourth consecutive time, 2012, 2014, 2016 and 2017, all finals.
And also, I saw in one of the clips that Prime Minister Modi is also a big supporter of your group and the cricket for the blind.
Correct. He has been one of our most beloved Prime Minister. I'm sure you all know he has many things to worry about, but he follows blind cricket very closely. He was one of the earliest person to congratulate the team by tweeting within 15 minutes of India winning the World Cup. And he invited the entire team, felicitated them, spent time with us, took photos with every single person, and he also said, I normally give autograph to people. This time I'm asking you guys to give autograph to me. So he took autograph from all the players and me, and on a cricket ball and on a plaque, and he said this is going to be permanently staying in Prime Minister's Museum. That is the kind of recognition we could get for blind cricket. So what we thought, now we have a Samarthanam registered organization in the United States. So
we will come back to that.
Okay.
But before that, I wanted to ask you a couple of more questions.
Yeah.
One is that, of course, the cricket is and the sport for the blind is the important thing your organization is doing. But Samarthanam is also involved in education and technical skill training as well.
correct, sir.
Right.
Yeah, so Samarthanam firmly believes in creating opportunities, because in India, you know how situation is. Persons with disability are kind of denied of most basic needs, be it a good schooling, college, and employment. If they are not skilled, if they are not educated, you can't expect them to get jobs. So what we do is we run a couple of schools and also support kids who want to go for higher education. So because of our intervention, many of our visually impaired students have cracked CAT and passed out of most premier institutes like IIM, Bangalore, Lucknow, Calcutta, and they are very well settled and are earning fairly well. And the same is true with the skilling program. We provide skill to become employable. We have about 13 centers across country, starting from Bangalore to Hyderabad to Chennai to Delhi, Bombay, Anantapur, Guntur. So it's 10 states. Samarthanam is present in 10 states, because we know around 70 million people in India live with some disability. More than 80% of them are not able to access the support system. So we have committed ourselves to touch 100,000 lives every year by 2020, sir. So we want them to become taxpayers of the country. They should not become a burden. They should not become liability. They should become assets of the country. They should become taxpayers and lead a life of dignity and contribute for the...
So in that context, number one question for you is, what are the challenges, one or two challenges faced by, say, less talk about the blind people in India.
Yeah.
And the second question is how and what non-resident Indian NRIs living abroad can do for your organization.
So one of the major challenges is to create accessible infrastructure and a place for them to stay, because most of them come from rural areas. If we can accommodate them in a big cities or 2-tier, 3-tier cities, that's where the opportunity is for them for study, for work, and also enable them to become entrepreneurs if they want to. So create that ecosystem which will help them to become independent, which will help them to become taxpayers, and they live like any other human beings. So Samarthanam is committed to create that infrastructure in all major cities of the country. So what NRIs can do is they can join hands with us in whatever form they want. Their time, their talent, and their treasure, they can share any of that. And we have a very active board in US, in Boston itself. They can associate themselves, and contribution to Samarthanam is again exempted from 501c under federal IRS law here, and also exempted under Indian tax exemption. And more than that, we believe in transparency. So we share what we do, and they can share their ideas, their feelings, and they can actively participate in our initiatives.
Okay. Thank you very much. Really, thank you. Really appreciate your time, and thank you very much for coming.
Many thanks.
Now, one more thing I wanted to say is the word about Samarthanam in the United States is being spread by its branch here in the United States, which was started in 2010, and it is spearheaded by no other than Boston entrepreneur Subu Kota. And he is with us. We are going to talk to him about Samarthanam, what he's doing, what his organization is doing here in the United States. And thank you very much for again. Subu, welcome to our studio.
Thank you.
And after so many years, finally you are here.
Thanks for the invitation.
Great.
Thanks for giving me time.
Excellent.
Appreciate
Well,
it.
Subu, I must say that you are doing absolutely fantastic job with Samarthanam, what you are doing here in the US and what you have done in India for this organization. When we were talking off the camera, you said that you visit Samarthanam in India every 2-3 months.
Correct.
And so you were very, very closely involved with them. What inspired you to get involved with this organization, and what your plans are here in the US?
Sure. In 2010, I happened to attend a performance by Samarthanam team. Even though they are totally blind, all the children, about 15 of them, they made a performance of Bharatanatyam and all music on the stage in Perkins. And that evening we have given a dinner for them. And I get to know this thing by Raj Melville, who introduced me into that. Thanks to Raj. And I was so much fascinated with their honesty and with the kind of work they're doing. And in those days, I go often to India, but I do my business but never have done anything back to India.
Mm-hmm.
So I felt this is one way of involving in participating and learning more about it.
Yeah. So now you have this 501c chapter here in the US. So what the organization has been doing in the US and how you want to spread the word in the United States?
We formed this organization 513, took about 2 years to get through, and we reach a lot of corporations and tell us our activities and all, so that they can sponsor. Many of the companies in Silicon Valley and others, they send us donations on a yearly basis. We do get grants, and other ways we support. We have not done much to the point of reaching individually, but with the corporate level we're working on it. And the plans are for now, having successfully done winning the World Cup for the blind and winning the Padma Shri award for one of our captain, Shekhar Naik, we felt that the same thing can be done in USA. And of all these years staying in the country, we have not done much to this country itself. So I asked the question that why not to try in to the people here itself and launch it, and one day, hopefully in near future, we can participate a team US team participate in the World Cup in India or wherever it happens. So there are about 10 countries participate. I want US to be the 11th. And we talked to several of the Indian teams having
here in the US.
In the US, there are thousands of Indian cricketers came here as IT jobs.
Yeah, sure.
So many teams are formed, and they're all anxious to do something. We had a offline conversation with a lot of teams yesterday. Very positive response, how they can help us and motivate them to participate in the main life. Sure. We give back to the society.
Now, what about 2 or 3 things which has really stuck to you about Samarthanam?
Samarthanam is a way of life. People go there for a reason, but they become part of the family and get attached to a candidate, a process. Many ways that you can support it. And some of the things are a person want to do something for their own village. You can start a blind center around 10 villages, and we'll more than glad to send the trainers how to train them. It's a fascinating to understand how the blind people use the laptops and our iPhones and all these things. There are so many tools and technology available, but we're willing to teach them. So, want to make everybody life fully productive citizen kind of thing. That's what we want to do. So many things are school, people who have a good voice, they can record the books and people can use them to listen. So many other things are available to do that. This is the nature of your commitment, how much time you have.
Excellent. Subu, thank you very much
Thank
for
you.
your time. Our next guest is Sunis Gupta. He is an executive director of Samarthanam in the United States and also a tech entrepreneur. He has been taking a very active role in the organization here, and also he also himself had some blindness issues which has been taken care of. So far, still you have those challenges. So we are going to talk to him more about this issue in terms of numbers. Sunis, welcome to our studio.
Thank you.
And so if you can just tell us, for example, in India, what are the number of disabilities, people are disabled or blindness, and also about your organization in terms of how big the staff is, etc.
Absolutely. So there are, according to the WHO numbers, there are about 70 million disabled people in India.
70 million.
Yes.
Okay.
And so that covers all types of disabilities, and that's blindness is one of them.
Do you know what percentage is blindness? 30%?
Blindness is about 30% of them,
Mm-hmm.
and of course blindness also includes some low vision and some people who have no vision at all, but they all need some accommodation or some extra training to live independently.
And also, if you can talk a little bit about Samarthanam in India, in terms of if you know the numbers, how many people work for the organization.
Absolutely. So the organization is headquartered in Bangalore, and there are about 500 plus employees in total across all over India. They operate in more than 13 states, and they have been opening centers pretty much since I joined. They've been opening centers pretty much in every time I 2 months I hear a story. Okay, they opened a new center in a new state. So they've been expanding very rapidly across India, even in Jharkhand, in Delhi, Bombay, all sorts of places, and the need is very dire. So definitely the number of centers needs to increase more rapidly, but we are growing organically as fast as we can.
So when did you join and why did you join?
I have been passionate about giving back to the society. I was myself became blind later in my life. I understand that when proper opportunities are given for the blind people, they can do anything. Anything is possible. I myself, when I transitioned from my blindness training, I came to MIT, studied as a blind person, one of the first blind person at MIT. And we have to keep pushing our limits, our envelopes. We want to encourage these disabled people, blind people in India, where the resources are so limited. Government cannot play a vital role in their making sure they do a good job in their independence, in making sure they become contributing citizens of the society. We want to enable that in Samarthanam, and that's what touched my heart. And again, Raj Melville, as Subu sir said, he connected me to Samarthanam. He wanted me to meet. I was still studying at MIT at that time in 2010, and that's when I thought, okay, this is really where my heart lies. I want to make sure we achieve our goals, and since then I've been involved with this organization.
And so what is your vision in the US?
So my vision is multifold. Of course, we want to promote, we want to raise funds and promote the organization in various aspects. Not just taking the funds to India, but also have some bilateral programs between the two entities, so that we can have a more richer experience for people over here. And when I say people, I mean the Indian diaspora. They can take advantage of learning how, not just how disabled people or how we can accommodate them, but also they will learn about Indian cultures. The new generation wants to be introduced to this new to the Indian way of thinking. They can definitely be introduced that way. Cricket is a great way to begin the dialogue, and it not only establishes a basic that they can learn anything is possible. They also learn how to push their own comfort zone. It's a breaking the barrier. So it really pushes the limit.
Now you also mentioned earlier when we were chatting that you invented some technology, some machine for blind.
Yes.
So tell us about that. What is that?
Absolutely. So when I was becoming blind, before I was blind, by the way, I was an electronic engineer working in Silicon Valley. When I became blind, I was trying to see that there's more technology can do. There's huge gaps. Somebody has to put their mind together and put few devices together, and then life will be just same as anybody else. Of course, it's easier said than done. And somehow I came across a serial entrepreneur named Ray Kurzweil. And we partnered in developing the world's first portable reading machine for the blind. This was 2004, and I had just gotten out of my training in all sorts of skills for blindness in independent living. And so this was a great project for me to head it. I was the director of the project, and we made it into a successful product, launched it in 2005, and now we transferred the same thing in our app. But after having this experience, I wanted to do something more for the disabled, and that's why I came to MIT to broaden my perspective on how technology can really meet the needs of disabled in general.
Excellent. Thank you very much for your time. Our next guest is no other than the teacher of Mahantesh, and who is here with us, and who is going to talk about a little bit about Mahantesh and also Samarthanam, how this organization is different than several other organizations. Welcome to our studio.
Thank you.
And sure.
Rajendra.
Okay.
I've seen Mahantesh when he joined our organization as a 10-year-old boy. Always passionate, always loved by all, and no teacher complained on Mahantesh. He's a lovely boy, smiling, taken his disability in a positive way, with the support of their parents. And one thing which was unique in him, which I have seen all through, is that risk-taking abilities. He had never given a second guess or a second thought to take up anything that was offered to him. And he was brilliant in his thinking, in his memory. You can take him back to any timeline of history. He can immediately tell you within seconds, even now. So that was his greatness. And when we came to UK in 1986 as part of an exchange program, that's the first time we bought a ball from RNIB and went back, and we started off, as he said, in the cricket, and he built it up. He was the first captain of Karnataka team, and then won the championship at national level. So that passion lived in him for long. Another great thing what we saw is most organizations in India, they have restrictions to scale it up. Scaling up is one of his passions. He saw gaps. Okay, after grade 10, what do we do? There are not much opportunities for visually impaired and other disabled people to continue pursue their education. How do I make sure they get support for higher education? So, and how do I ensure that the sports and other curricular activities can be promoted side by side? Because sports fosters empowerment. That's what he believed in it, and he started Samarthanam with that intention, and today it's a huge organization. Another point which I'd definitely like to mention: 70 million disabled children, young adults in India, which are not having even some of the basic facilities, mostly in rural areas. Almost 85% of them are out of access to health, education, livelihood. Of course, this government has done, the current government is doing fantastic thing. After the UN Convention on Rights of Persons with Disability in 2006, India has adopted and signed, and now they are passed a new Disability Act, which will ensure a lot of schemes and facilities.
So when this Disability Act was passed? When was that?
Just last year. Last year it was passed by the BJP government and Rajya Sabha and both the houses, and that is now being implemented.
So now it is a law.
Yes, and that will bring about huge changes in the years to come. But still, as you know, it all comes under one umbrella, overarching law, say, subject to availability of resources. But that's where most of the things get restricted. Second most important thing that we see globally, even in India and other developing countries, is the attitudinal change. If it draws political will, then definitely things change fast. One point where I've seen Samarthanam stands out compared to about 60,000 disability organizations are there in India.
60,000?
Yeah, more than that. I'm giving it, I'm just a reference to make, because this comes under a registration called Foreign Contribution Regulation Act. All of them have to register there. So their number is quite high. Here, as I said, he takes risks and he goes for expansion. There's already 13 centers across India, 20 states playing cricket, and an office in US, an office in UK. That is thinking big. Mahantesh and his colleagues have always thought big, and they want to achieve big. Scaling up will matter, because if you look at the large numbers, after 60 years of independence, if we can't reach out to at least a significant number, I don't think we have done a good job. That's where Samarthanam leads. Second aspect is the innovation. Like you saw the video of how a young adult with visual impairment is able to get employed in a mainstream emerging sector like BPO or a health sector or retail or hospitality sector, like any other.
So Rajendra, I have one question for you is, now with the globalization, a lot of multinationals going to India, how the disability is looked upon by these big companies and private sector in India? Are they doing something different than?
I must say the corporate sector is doing very well, which was not there for last several years. There are two basic reasons for that. One is most of the US and Europe-based companies are now operating from India. So they carry the same best practices back in India.
Okay.
They can't do two standards.
Sure.
So there are a lot of improvement. What we always say is now there is a shortage of supply of people with disability to get employed, but the corporates have always opened their doors to provide equal opportunities. The second important milestone 2 years back is the India passed a corporate act, CSR act. 2% of the net profit of every company has to be invested on social development. That includes disability.
Yeah, sure.
So these two are really making a difference in lives of people with disabilities.
Excellent. Rajendra, thank you very much for your time.
Thank you very much.